You're listening to the Trading Bear Podcast. This is episode 15, The Daily Show.
Mystery player. Position.
Midfielder.
Start price.
£3.04.
Current price.
£5.05.
PB.
24p.
MB.
0.
Dividend yield.
4.7%.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining again. Before we have a look at today's news, I'd just like to say a massive thank you for all those tuning in. We've had over 1,000 downloads for the show, which is great numbers for a new independently produced show. I hope you continue to enjoy the content and feel free to recommend to others. With that said, let's get into today's show, and in the news today then. Real Madrid former captain Zinedine Zidane returns once more to the Bernabeu as manager just 10 months after leaving. The likes of Toni Kroos, Vinicius Jr., Isco look set to benefit from a more attacking settled team, but Bale's time would almost definitely see him up. More on that shortly. The Birmingham City fan who punched Jack Grealish in yesterday's derby received a 14-week jail term today, as well as a football banning order in the UK for 10 years. And he was also ordered to pay Grealish £100 in compensation. And lastly in today's news, and perhaps most importantly, as the share split D-Day looms nearer, this time next week we'll hear more details, Monday the 18th, speculation has grown heavily today that MB, media bonus, will be tiered. And not only that, it will include all players on the platform. So it will open up to what it is currently, the top 200. It will open up to include the squad players as well. So how has this speculation come about? Well, like most speculation and rumours these days, it seems to have originated on Twitter, but it does have some logical background to it as well. If you load up the app today being Monday the 11th of March, and you go to the home screen and you look at the dividend winners from yesterday, so Sunday's dividend media winners, you'll see there are 3 people listed, not just Jack Grealish, who won incidentally with 3,910 points, but also interestingly listed are Eden Hazard and Sadio Mane, who finished 2nd and 3rd respectively in the MB stakes yesterday. So does this mean that MB is going to a tiered payment? Now, Adam, Mike and Kieran, the directors at Football Index, vehemently denied that they would move to a PB tiered, so performance bonus tiered system. They said this would not be implemented anytime soon, and that was only a few months ago in December, January time, so I can't see them introducing a PB tiered. Would they do it for MB then in that case instead? It wouldn't look likely. However, there's clearly been some sort of glitch in the system for those 3 players to appear in Sunday's list, so it's definitely one to closely monitor. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if indeed they certainly opened up MB to all the players on the system, and in order to compensate that, for them to now have tiered MB. If they were to introduce it, who would benefit from it? Well, if you have a look at those clubs that are heavily linked in the papers, you're looking at Manchester United top, Chelsea second, and then abroad you're looking at Juventus and Real Madrid. So the usual characters of Pogba, Neymar, Ronaldo, Messi, Mehmet Ozil is an outsider as well. So lots to digest there, and we'll have to wait for new information as the days get closer to the share split. On to today's risers now then. And today's first riser is certainly one who would benefit from a tiered MB, and it's Gareth Bale at Real Madrid. He's gone up 13p today to £7.21, largely, if not all of it, due to the fact of Zinedine Zidane being appointed as the new manager once again. He wasn't a favourite at Zidane's time in his first tenure there, and I don't expect him to be a favourite second time round. Combine that with his struggles, and it almost looks certain like Gareth Bale's time at Real Madrid is up. Now, he's had a lot of stick at Real Madrid, and completely unfair in my opinion. He's actually now made more appearances at Real Madrid than he has at Tottenham, and his goal record is far superior. Tottenham, he made 146 total appearances, scoring 42 times. Real Madrid, he's now made 147 appearances, scoring 77 times. So he's been there a long while now. It's 6 years now he's been in Spain. It certainly feels a lot less than that. But he turns 30 in the summer, and he'll be looking once more to establish himself as the main man at another club. What club that is? I think you can heavily speculate it will be an English club, and then you're looking at a club that can afford him, and hence the links with Manchester United, or possibly even a Spurs return, who knows. Today's second riser is Maxime Lopez, the 21-year-old attacking playmaker from Marseille. Now, if you're not aware of him, he's been likened to Samir Nasri, albeit with a higher work rate, but a similar sort of skill set, and he certainly showed evidence of this at the weekend, where he scored a PB score of 181, which was his second highest of the campaign, 186 being his highest, and this has seen his price being pushed up over the weekend, and today it rose mainly due to a big trader who trades under the name EJ, who announced publicly on his Twitter that after the performance he was convinced to buy a large chunk of him. So he's gone up 48p and certainly looks one for the future. I think this season will be too soon for him now in order to affect any future rises, but certainly next season, if Marseille do qualify for Europe, and it is a big if at the moment, then he could certainly be one to watch as the season grows next year. On today's fallers then, and we're looking at a Manchester City fullback, and it goes under the name of Benjamin Mendy. Mendy fell 11p today and is now priced at £3.15. His price has actually been fairly consistent considering his injury-plagued campaign. He also seems to be a bit of an unsettled character, with rumours of a slight fallout between himself and Pep Guardiola, and if you combine that with his injuries, despite the great attacking play he showed early in the season, it looks like he may well be on his way out over the summer, with Manchester City looking to buy a more reliable left-back and one that can play 40-50 games a season, which sadly Mendy doesn't look like capable of doing due to his injuries. Elsewhere on the market today, it's actually been fairly quiet, and there's a good reason for this, as Football Index closed the market early on this morning, all the way up until 2:30 this afternoon, due to the IT system testing they are carrying out ahead of the big announcement next Monday. Let's move on to your questions now then. And the first question today comes from Steve in Manchester, and he asks, what do you expect the share split factor to be, and what news, if any, on dividends? Let's look at the first part of your question then, Steve, and what do I expect the share split factor to be? Well, the official announcements from Adam at the last traders meeting in London, a couple of months ago now, stated that they were looking at three options: a split factor of 2, so if a player's price was £10, it would then be £5 post-share split. They were also having a look at the split factor of 4 and also a split factor of 10. Now, Adam stated at the time that the split factor of 2 was the preferred option. However, since then, it's all been but confirmed to be a share split factor of 4 due to the multiple screenshots they've used, as well as the presentation they used in the last traders meeting. So I think we can almost 99% guarantee that all prices will be split by 4. So taking Pogba's current price at just over £22, split it by 4, and Pogba's new price will be around about £5.50 to £5.60. Now, as for the dividends, which is crucial just to see how much value that £5.50 mark is actually going to be for Pogba, this is much more closely guarded than share split. There's rumours that the PB dividends won't increase at all the way up to a 50% increase in dividends. Now, personally, I can't see it being anywhere near as high as 50%, but I can see a small increase around about the 10-15% mark. Anything above 20% would represent a great deal and see PB players pushed up on the market. But more on that to come as we get closer to the announcement. Today's second question comes from the appropriately named Pogba King on the forum, the Football Index main forum, who asks, what is the best website or app to use for goals as they go in? Now, there's simply hundreds of websites and apps you can use for goal alerts, but there do seem 3 or 4 that traders currently prefer. Namely, they are LiveScore, FlashScore and SofaScore. A few traders have actually run an experiment on match days to see which app gets the goal alerts in quickest, and indeed which is most accurate. And it seems that currently FlashScore are doing the best job on those fronts. SofaScore is great for a breakdown of stats, so you can see exactly how the PB players are winning it, via amount of passes completed, tackles, recoveries, those sort of stats. But FlashScore seems to be microseconds ahead in actually alerting when a team has scored. That's it for this episode. You can download and subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify and Podbean. Head over to the website to send in a question, tradingbearpodcast.com. Alternatively, you can find me on Index Gain or Twitter under the name Trading Bear. Thanks for listening and stay tuned for the Mystery Player.
Mystery player. Position.
Midfielder.
Start price.
£3.04.
Current price.
£5.05.
PB.
24p.
MB.
0.
Dividend yield.
4.7%.
Trading bear. Today's mystery player was Tony Cruz.